Throughout the years of my construction, I've had to drill holes and run taps in for screws or bolts to mount, let's say, panic hardware, door closures, anything in the metal that required it to be tapped to run a bolt into to attach something to the metal. In doing that, I typically carried a few of the major sizes, the ones most commonly used, drill bits and taps, and it was always a process for me. Well, a few years ago, I noticed another product hit the market, and I've never used it, and I thought today I would just test it out. But what it is a tap combo, drill and tap, and it drills the hole, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but it drills the hole and taps it all in one process. And I want to see how that works, and I want to show you how it works. So watch to the end to see if this actually works the way it's supposed to. Let's get this opened up and put in the drill. And this is designed where you could actually put it into an impact if you would want. An impact driver. I'm going to be using a DeWalt cordless drill, and let's get this in there. And the tools that I'm going to use to do this with are just simply a punch for starting, a hammer, and the two pieces of wood. I'm going to test two of them. This is about a 1/4 inch thick. This is probably an 1/8 or 3/16. I don't know what. I'm going to try drilling through each. I will have oil handy to keep the end of the bit cooled. I'm going to start off drilling in the lower gear. So let's start with the lighter first. I'll take the hammer and I'm going to pound this a good while. I've got a nice little dimple in there. You can see it right there. Now let's just see how this drills. I'm going to put just a little oil on there. I don't want to ruin this bit because it is over $14 to purchase one of these. But if this works, I think you could save you a lot of labor. Tell you what I'm going to do. I don't feel safe drilling like this. I'm going to chuck this up in my vise over here. Hope you can see this okay. And right there's where I started. I got it in my vise. So let's see if this works. Let me bring you right down in there if I can. It broke through. Now the problem I see here on this is it's hitting at the back side, and it's going to want to thread a little bit before I get down there, and I could see where that could be an issue. Let me, uh-oh, what was that? It looks like it cut decent threads in there, but I have a bolt right here. Let's see if it goes in. I'm turning that in by hand. Okay. And I did have a nut driver here to help. Well, I've got to say that that worked really well on that piece of steel. Let me bring that up there a little closer so you can see. I hope that there. See the threads in there? I'm quite impressed with the way that worked. But with any bit, the same goes for this one. You would want to go at it slow because I could see you twisting that off very easily. Fact is, I wonder if I shouldn't turn. This has got an adjustment on it so that if it pulls too hard, it won't. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Took the bit right out of there. I'm gonna. That's one. Let's go up here to about right there. Now the second test is I'm going to take this 1/4 inch piece of iron. Let's see if we can't get that focused in there. There you go. And I'm going to drill a hole into that. Let's see how that works. I'm going to set it up in my vise again, the best I can. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to take the center punch and give me a starting point. Let me get you out. Put just a dab of oil on that again. And let's see how it drills in this heavier steel. This is about as big or as thick as I would probably recommend for something like this. But let's see. It appears to be drilling really well. It's not going real fast. Let's give it just a little bit more of the schmutz, the oil. There we go. See, yep, it's starting to drill. I believe if a guy would use this in a drill press, it'd actually do better, but the whole purpose of this for me is to see how it would work out on a job site putting door hardware on, because I think that's where you would use it for the most part. And quite honestly, there's no door jamb out there that I've ever installed that's this thick. It's cutting really well. Let's see where we are. That's almost through. It looks wobbly. It looks like a wobbled hole though. There she's starting through. Oh. Back her up here. Let's ring that up. It's not going to cut in that low. Let's take it over to another setting. Well, let's take it all the way over because it's not going to cut. Uh-oh. Wow. That just went right through. Look at that. Can you see that? That just went right through. I mean, the cutting part of it was easy. Okay, the bolt starts nice. It isn't turning as easy though. Let's see what happens. That's not going in very good, so let's see what's going on. Let's run that through again. Now let's test it. Look at that. That turns right in. Well, okay. Wonder how much pressure you can give it with those threads before it twists off. Let me get a wrench around, and I'm going to put a lot of torque on this, way more than I normally would, and see if it actually holds up the threads. So what I'm going to do is take this out, and I'm going to bolt something down through this here. Now my bolt isn't long enough. I wonder if this is the same size. Look at that, same size. Okay, that goes right in. But that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is take this small bolt here. It's a grade 5. And I'm going to take this piece of steel and I'm going to I'm going to attach it to this. But let me get you a wrench around that I can really put some muscle to it. And let's see how those threads hold up. Okay, what I have here is a 1/2-inch drive, 1/2-inch bolt with a ratchet. Now I'm going to put as much as I can on that and see if I can't bust it. And we'll just see how them threads hold out. Wow. Oh. That is way more than you'll ever put on anything that you would use it for. Oh, I can't break it. I don't have a 6-point on here, and it's just chewing up the end of the nut, or the head of the bolt. Wow, that's tight. Let's see if we can drive it out, or get it out. And take a look at it. It's coming out a little harder, so it messed with the threads a little bit. But I had a lot of torque on that. So much so, it started to chew up the inside of that. And that looks That looks pulled just a little maybe, but not that bad. Yep. There you have it. That bit and that drill worked perfectly. For what I was testing, I went to the extreme on it, and I feel that it performed above what it was designed to perform to. So I'm going to give that little setup an A+. It would have saved me a lot of labor back in the day when I was doing all that kind of work. And I bring it to you because I wanted you to see it. And maybe it'll save you some time if you pick a couple of those up. They're not cheap, 14 bucks. By the way, that company that supplied that particular bit, Ivy Classic, let me get the package. Ivy Classic, and a lot of their stuff is manufactured here in the US. But anyway, Ivy Classic, they make a good product, and I tested it and I would stand behind it. I like testing different products in my shop. Next thing I'm going to test is, you see this bumper down here? It's got this white paint on it. I could go have this sandblasted, but I have some paint stripper that I use on furniture. I want to see how it works on this bumper. If it would peel the paint off of this the way I think it is going to, that would be a game changer for stripping some metal, that sort of thing. So if you want to see that, I'll have that video up here. Just watch this next video. Can it be fixed? Sure it can. Can you fix it? You're darn right you can. Catch that video, and I'll catch you on the next one.